There's no place like home, and that has been so true after the Kings' 5-game road trip in which they went 1-3-1, including a game against, I believe it was Ottawa, where they lost with 6.5 seconds to go. I mean, are you trying to kill me? Is this what's happening? But we're back for a pretty extended period of time here in LA. I think our one away game is in Anaheim, so that's just across the pond there. And that's probably a good thing, because the Kings need to kind of regroup. Like I said last time, and if you've been following along at all, there have been quite a few injuries to the team. Kopitar, Andreev, and Gaborik are all back skating again. Now, they are not with the team in games. I think Kopitar will probably be one of the first people to come back from that. But they are on the ice at practices, and this is a very good sign that we're getting at least some of them back soon. It cannot come soon enough, because while yes, we won 4-2 and it was awesome, like a legit regulation win, guys, there's room for improvement, and it's going to be really good to see some of our top tier players come back. McNabb, I miss you. I never thought I'd say that. McSmash, you're in my heart. So let's get to tonight's game against the Oilers. This is the first time that Milan Lucic has been back. I feel like it was a really bad breakup. Like, he was just kind of dangling us along. Like, yeah, of course I want to stay in LA. I mean, it's basically a done deal. I never want to move here. Oh, wait, you can't give me enough money? I'm just going to go over to Edmonton then and play with Connor McDavid. It's cool, bro. If that's what you wanted to do, that's fine, but don't string us along. Anyway, he was there. Sekera was there, who I guess is Sekera now. He felt the need to change the pronunciation of his last name halfway through his life. Whatever. They were there, and they did nothing to stop us. In fact, Sekera was 4 seconds out of the penalty box when we scored our second goal, so thanks for that, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, you're welcome. So the first goal was pretty early into the first period, and that was Derek Forbort. First, at least Kings goal this season, I believe first NHL goal, if I'm not mistaken. And it was gorgeous. Just, you know, blast from the slot. I mean, it was kind of the shot you expect from a defenseman, and there was a lot of traffic in front, and goaltender just didn't see it, and it sailed straight by him, and it was lovely. That play also came from the Nick Dowd and Dustin Brown line, who I have been praising the heck out of lately. They have been the most solid line I've seen on the ice tonight, and they were put in penalty kill, power play, and even strength situations, and I don't think I saw them falter at all. Nick Dowd, that dude's just got hustle. He wants that puck. He wants to be in on the plays. He's great at faceoffs. I am super, super impressed with Dowd, the same way I was kind of impressed with Toffoli a couple of seasons ago when he was a rookie. Now, I know Dowd's kind of an older rookie, but I really, really like what he's bringing to the game, and he is making it really, really hard for him to get out of the lineup when one of those healthy players comes back. So kudos, Dowd. I hope to see a lot more of him playing. So that was the first goal. Before I could even tweet that there had been a goal, we got a power play thanks to Sekera. Whatever, that dude. However he feels the need to pronounce his name. And for 2 minutes, the LA Kings' curse of not being able to do a damn thing on the power play was true, because we couldn't. We finally do get something set up, and like I said earlier, 4 seconds out of the box, and the play that has been setting up that whole power play, that ends up being a goal. And it's Toffoli, who in my hockey psychicness, I had just been commenting, I wonder when Toffoli is going to step up. And sure enough, gorgeous shot from Jeff Carter, who was in fine form tonight. That 70s line is back, and I know that's probably just because of where the players have fallen out of the lineup, but I am thrilled because it brings us beautiful things like this. And it's really hard to fault Jeff Carter and Tyler Toffoli's game tonight. They were very much in sync. They just did beautiful things on the ice, and you're going to see some more of that in the second period. So this is not even halfway through the first period. The Kings are up 2-0. We're like, wait, what? I'm confused. What? Oh my God! Yay! But I have a whole lot of shots that are dangerous. The one that was super dangerous, he ends up sprawled facing the left side of the ice, and the puck is on the right side of the ice, and for Gilbert had this amazing block, like full body in front of the net, like he's the goaltender. Totally is gonna get some beer from Budaj tonight for that block. It was gorgeous. And that was about the only real scary moment that the Oilers had in the first period. And there was some really solid defense in front of Budaj to back that up. So it was all good. And we go into the second period, and I don't know what it is, but it's like the Kings forget that the second period you still have to play hockey, guys. It's insane. They let up one goal, which I'm told was a deflection. It was hard to tell. It actually went really fast. I don't even think the players on the ice knew it had happened. I saw it go in the back of the net and deflect out, but everyone around me was like, wait, why are we stopping? Why? They were still playing the puck. And because they were, and then the ref was like, dude, that was a goal. So we're done with that play now. Go back to center ice. So that was, I mean, it wasn't a grade A shot at all. Budaj should have had it, and maybe he would have, but like you said, apparently there was a deflection. It looked like the defenseman in front of Budaj had actually tipped it and redirected it up. So, you know, home goal. That's just great. But from the way the Kings were playing, it was in no way surprising that we were going to start to give up goals because we had absolutely no puck control. We had none of the momentum. The Oilers just carried everything, and we just let them. The second goal was, I mean, I even sat there and called it. Like, I'm looking over my friend next to me, I'm like, they're going to score in like 30 seconds. And she's like, yeah, I don't even think it will take them that. Oh, look, they scored. Just so LA Kings. Like, that's so LA Kings. And then as soon as that happened, they got a penalty. Jordan Nola. I'm like, dude, when you're struggling to get any puck possession, you know what you don't want to do is take a penalty and put them at the disadvantage. And so this is the point where I would have expected the way that the Kings have been playing this season, them to just completely collapse, because that's kind of, they'd already done that. And then apparently you're like, well, just fine, can we please be done with this period? And yet it's barely halfway over. Instead, Tyler Toffoli gets a loose puck, carries it up the ice, sees Jeff Carter at his center. Toffoli's on the wing, does this gorgeous, slick little pass to Carter. Carter does what Carter does best. Man, those hands were smooth. And it's a shorthanded goal. And it's a gorgeous one because it's Carter and Toffoli, and they only do beautiful things when they're together on the ice. And at this point, we're joking that the Kings are actually better off shorthanded because they have more shorthanded goals than they have power play goals. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think it's very far off. So, 3-2, we kill the power play pretty efficiently, and it's kind of woken the Kings up. Finally. They actually remembered that they have to play hockey in the second period. Yes, there's 60 minutes of play, guys. Please don't forget the 20 in the middle. So they're coming back. They don't get anything for it, but they are full steam ahead. The second period ends. There's maybe like 5 or 6 minutes left to go when Jordan Nolan decides to fight Patrick Maroon. And I really do put this in air quotes because they were just dancing. They were like hugging each other and kind of swaying on the ice, but not actually getting any hits in. It was pretty pathetic, actually. So they fought and got majors. And the Kings ended the second period with 1 minute and 23 seconds of a power play. I hate split power plays. I love split penalty kills. I think it makes it a lot easier because you don't actually have to kill for the full 2 minutes. You've got that whole restart at the beginning of the period, which basically wasted the Kings' last 37 seconds left of the penalty. Couldn't do anything on it. Again, not surprising considering how badly the Kings have done on their power play. I don't even want to look at how bad it is because last time I checked it was 9.8%. 2 in 35. And that's not acceptable by any standards. So, another fairly lackluster power play. But it's fine because they don't really give anything up. It's a pretty even third period until we get to this. Another gorgeous goal by the LA Kings with Lucic on the ice. Okay, I will take it. So this is Forbort taking the initial shot, and there had been several plays up until this point that looked very similar, where the Kings would gain the zone, they take the initial shot, and they would almost get the rebound. And it was just good hockey. And so this one, they actually capitalized because, honestly, the Oilers goaltender had been very good on the chances before this to cover up the puck, and he doesn't do that here. And Setoguchi just kind of comes skating in right by and backhands it into the net. It was gorgeous. And it's what I'd been wanting to see from Setoguchi pretty much all night. He'd made a couple of monster plays, but for everything else, it was kind of like, whatever. He could be one of the people that we get rid of when we get Kopitar and a few other players back. But it was a sweet goal. It was a really sweet goal, and he looked so happy to score it. I was so happy for him. So 4-2, much more commanding lead, because honestly, 3-2, I had pretty low confidence levels that the Kings would be able to pull off a regulation win with 3-2. But that fourth goal just gave them, not momentum per se, but just the confidence that we got this. And it turns out they did. The Oilers pulled their goalie with 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. And there were a couple of scary-ish moments. One where the scoreboard actually said that they had scored. It was 4-3. I was like, what? When the hell did that happen? What did I miss? I know I wasn't paying too much attention down the other end of the ice, but come on. I didn't miss a whole goal. I didn't. The scoreboard was wrong. So no go on the empty net goal. I really wanted Trevor Lewis to get one because he'd been pretty much hustling all night. But tonight's game, apart from the two lapses in goals there, because they were pretty close together and there was a dumbass penalty taken, and it was just about 10 minutes of hockey that the Kings probably would have liked back. It was actually a pretty solid night. Your first line, your second line, and your third line scored. Your defensemen got in on it, and they were really solid by the net. Again, except for that second goal, that was not Budaj. That was the skaters just letting the Oilers run all over the place. So, a little less of that next game, and keeping up the wonderful chemistry that these lines are starting to have. I think the Kings have a pretty good shot of continuing to do well on this homestead. Here's hoping, and if nothing else, they got a win tonight against some former teammates that it was so nice to get a win against. And we had some Chris Sutter in the house, so as always, I will leave you with a wonderful Chris Sutter dance cam.